It's been 7 hours and 15 days since you took your love away. Ooh. Sorry. So hopefully you're not too young to know that reference. I'm hoping that it goes along with my new do, right? Anyway, I'm back. It's been a while since I've done an update, and I wanted to, I don't know. There's a lot of things swimming around in my head about kind of what I want to share tonight. And what I had planned has kind of been shifted just by some of the conversations I've had this evening. So I'll start with a recap of sort of the last couple of weeks. Losing my hair was hard, and obviously it's not totally gone, but it was falling out so much about a week after I got my hair cut that it was so messy, and I don't have 30 minutes to clean up hair after a shower. So anyway, I decided to cut it short, and I'm glad that I did. It's been a liberating experience. I realized through that process that there was a lot of me hanging on to an old me that doesn't really exist anymore. So when I realized that things were changing and that I was already really different, and that hanging on to my hair was somehow hanging on to a past that doesn't exist anymore, I decided that it was the right time to shave it off. And now having buzzed hair is sort of apt for the situation. I feel like I'm not who I was before, and I'm not who I'm gonna be when this is over. So it's kind of like tilling the soil after the harvest. I just don't know what's gonna grow, and I'm creating an open space for that to happen now. And I will definitely say that it has been eye-opening to realize how much I had the option of hiding literally and figuratively behind my hair. I can't anymore. I am like all out there in a different way than I was before. And it has required more vulnerability and more authenticity. And for that, I'm grateful. It's definitely weird sometimes, but and it's cold. It's really cold. You need hats. Hats are important. I cannot regulate my temperature. I get hot and cold, and I'm like constantly taking it on and putting it off, or whatever, you know what I mean. So that's kind of the hair story. But I feel pretty good about where it's at now, and it's still falling out. We'll find out if it's going to get patchy or what's going to happen. But for now, I'm going to enjoy the buzz cut and see where it takes me. I also, I had a really rough chemo this last time. The experience of chemo was not quite as bad, like receiving it wasn't quite as bad as the time before that. My veins are very, very sensitive to the toxicity of the poison, and the burning is really, really bad. So they had to dilute it extremely, like so much, huge bags of saline, multiple of them, to dilute it enough to like keep the burning at a minimum. And so luckily it didn't hurt that bad, but I do have to get a port because I can't take this every time. It's like takes 5 to 6 hours for me to get a 3-hour treatment. And so everyone says it will make it easier. So I'm trusting them, even though I didn't really want to port, but whatever. So that's happening on Tuesday. And my family, my immediate family, has been like, they're just the most incredible people. I mean, the most incredible people. And although all of you are really incredible, I have to say, but I just want to like give a shout out to them. For all of the doctor's appointments and all of the time off work and all of the phone calls and FaceTimes and being with me when I'm really struggling physically, emotionally, in all ways. Like, each of my parents, I've had a parent and or a sibling at each chemo so far, and Riley's gonna come home a little bit early to do my next one, and I'm really, really grateful. I just couldn't do this without them, and they have bent over backwards to make this like the like the easiest it can be and the most supportive that it can be, and I'm just really grateful. So I had a really hard weekend though. Like, the chemo is definitely cumulative, so what I'm experiencing now is a lot harder than before. Like, the first 3 days after was a total blur. I was so tired, I couldn't really stay awake. I felt mentally like I was really on drugs. Like, chemo fog is real. It's a chemo brain, whatever people call it, different things. But just so you know, if I can't remember your name, if I don't remember what you told me, please don't be mad, because I really am on drugs and I really don't remember. It's bad. And so, and then like Monday and Tuesday weren't really good either, but I could somewhat function. Like, I could do 3 hours worth of things during the day. So anyway, I just, that's kind of what chemo's been like. And it was kind of lonely this time. Like, it's sort of isolating to not be able to do anything for hours and hours. Even if you're awake, all you have the energy to do is sit and watch a television, which is, for me, not that fun. And it's just lonely sometimes. Even despite all of my family and friends, like, their best efforts to be there with me. And for me, and they have been. So all of you, thank you so much. But some things you just have to do alone, and so aspects of this have been lonely for me, and so I wanted to share that. I also decided that what better time to join a dating website than when you're on chemo and you have a shaved head. Really, what better time? I don't know what kind of got into me, but I just feel like it's time to have something else to talk about in my life besides cancer, and maybe have fun every once in a while in a way that is different. And I think being honest about who I am and what I'm going through will weed out a lot of BS, and hopefully just, will show the quality of character of the people who do show up. So that might be kind of fun. So we'll see what happens there. And I guess the last thing that I want to share, I know this is a long video, I'm sorry, is that I've had 3 phone calls with people whose like really dramatic, drastic things are happening in their lives right now. Onset of like illness and scary things for very young people, and some not so young, but still not easy. And so I wanted to share, I shared with all of them in different ways, but the same message kept coming up, and I figured if they needed to hear it, then probably other people do too. If you are struggling right now, if you are on the struggle bus 2016, like I have been and many others are, please know that you are not alone. You never were, and you won't ever be. If this experience of cancer has taught me nothing else, it has taught me that people will be there for you. And my belief, and it doesn't have to be everyone's, but my belief is that the ways that our needs are met when we cannot possibly explain it or expect it, that is God incarnate. That is a piece of spirit in each of us and in nature, in the living organism that we all are together. If you can surrender and trust that your needs will be met, and that if you feel like you can't do it alone, you're right, because we aren't meant to. Like, I have had to have people kind of beat that into me in a deeper way than I ever thought possible. I've never ever had to need this much help over and over and over and over and over again without being able to immediately reciprocate. And it was hard. It was really hard for me, and sometimes it still is. but I've never felt more loved and supported and held in my life. And it makes me want to give every day that I can, in every way that I can, and for the rest of my life. During a time when we see so much desperation and despair around our country and our world, this experience has instilled such deep faith in humanity. We are so lucky. We are so lucky and good. Like, there's so much good in every single person, no matter what they believe or who they voted for, or like, there's so much good, and people want nothing more than to be there for you, but you have to let them. You have to tell them that you need help. You have to open your heart, and they will show up, and your needs will be met at every turn in ways you could never possibly imagine. I am not doing this alone, because I couldn't. And so I want all of you to know that if you're struggling, you can't do it alone, and you shouldn't. Shouldn't have to. People are here, and we want to help, and we love you. So that's my message for tonight. Thank you so much for being in my corner, for watching my videos, for checking in on me, and for prayers and cards and money and food and fun times and laughter and just being you. Thank you so much. I hope that you have a great evening and a good holiday season.